did you start out in the practice of law? Have you been a
Ooh.
prosecutor? Have you done
I have
other
never
things?
been a prosecutor, ever. And that was a choice I made. I think in college I had so many jobs that my dad couldn't keep track, and he said, you know, Lori, you just need to work for yourself. You need to be your own boss, run your own business. That's where you're going to be successful. And he was spot on right. I graduated.
Maybe somewhat overrated sometimes.
No, it's been a blast. It's been great to be a solo practitioner. I started doing real estate transaction work right out of law school because
Fascinating.
no, it was not
Like doing title work and stuff?
writing loan documentation, some oil and gas, researching the chain of title. It was
Like a landman.
no, it was just
Even
like a
more-
little
even
bit of
worse than that.
everything.
Okay.
And the market started to tumble in 2007. So I was looking for other things to do, and a friend who's actually at the PD's office, public defender's office, invited me to some CLE for criminal cases, and I said sure, and I really enjoyed learning about it. And then he said, you know, with this CLE, you could get on the list in Galveston. And I was like, really? Oh, okay. And I filled out the paperwork, and I had a couple of cases, and 2 weeks later, and it was just never looking back.
What thrills you of being a defense attorney? What is it? Is it the closing argument? Is it the opening? Is it a trial? Is it the motions? Is it impacting people? What does it for you as a defense lawyer?
As a defense lawyer, it's hearing people's stories and hearing everyone has a side to the story, and it's also looking at the evidence, making sure that the government did its job and didn't, you know, overstep their bounds or make any shortcuts. And then I had my first trial in 2012, actually 12-12-12, and it was a not guilty. And I just remember doing voir dire, talking to the jurors, having that conversation, that was just like, that was awesome. And so that's actually my favorite part of the trial is voir dire, talking to the jurors and getting feedback. And I'm still strategizing when I'm doing voir dire. And so that's exciting to me. And thinking on my feet, because we don't know what to expect in trial. I mean, we know what the evidence we think it'll show, but we don't know what a witness is going to say, or because often they won't talk to us before trial. So that's exciting, having to think on your toes, and you hear something bad and, oh, objection, you know, that's exciting to me.
Do you find that you mentioned you've only been a defense attorney.
Yes.
Do you find that there's a difference, and I'm not necessarily saying positive or negative in either way, but do you find that experience is different than coming to the bench as a prosecutor versus a defense lawyer?
Right, definitely, because I think where we hear prosecutors say they've handled thousands of cases. Well, we see prosecutors every day in the courtroom grab a file, skim the offense report, make an offer, and pass it on. And they probably never see that file again. And I think to them that counts as handling the case. Whereas when I look up my stats, I think I've handled about 2,700 cases just in Harris County. And I do more than just skim and read the offer and talk to my client. I read the report. Often I negotiate with the prosecutor, advise my client, here are your options. And most often I have to look at the evidence, body cameras or videos or witness statements, and then people who want to fight their case, I've got to get it ready. So I think as a defense lawyer, we handle cases a lot more thoroughly than prosecutors do. And so I think that experience gives me the edge.